Wounded human soldier carries alien child through war zone. Mother demands life bond. The battlefield smelled like fire and blood. Ash rained from the skies like gray snow. And somewhere beneath the smoke, a child cried. I wasn't supposed to be alive. Our squad had been ambushed outside the ruins of Trailing V, a once beautiful alien city, now reduced to jagged metal and craters. I'd taken a hit to the side, shrapnel embedded in my ribs, blood soaking through my armor. Everyone else was either dead or missing. I had no comms, no backup, and barely enough strength to limp. And then I found her, a child, small, light-skinned with patterns that shimmered like constellations across her forehead and arms. And Allery, one of the so-called enemy, no more than 5 or 6 in human years. She was crouched beneath a collapsed hover transport, curled in on herself, shivering. When I approached, she hissed like a frightened animal, baring tiny fangs. I raised my hands. I'm not here to hurt you, I said hoarsely. I'm just not going to leave a kid to die. She didn't speak, just watched me, those glowing violet eyes wide with confusion and fear. I reached in, pulled her out gently, and winced as pain lanced at my side. I cradled her in my arm, using the last of my strength to lift her. We had to get out of the blast zone before another wave hit. The next 48 hours were a haze of agony, ash, and fire. I carried her across scorched ground, through fields of metal bones and shattered structures. Once, we hid in a collapsed dome while drones passed overhead. Another time, she pressed her tiny hands in my wound, and some kind of bioenergy, glowed faintly. It didn't heal me, but it dulled the pain. She never said a word, but she clung to me like I was her last hope. Eventually, I collapsed. I had just enough strength to pull us into a half-destroyed shelter and wrap my arm around her before the world went dark. I woke in a medical pod. Allery tech. Sleek. Silver. Too advanced to be human-made. I jolted, but hands pressed me down gently. She is safe, came a melodic voice. And so are you, thanks to her. The speaker was tall, regal, with glowing skin like liquid pearl and deep violet eyes. She wore no armor, but power radiated from her presence like heat from a forge. I am Virea, she said, matron of this province, and the mother of the child you carried through the flames. I blinked. She's yours. She is my daughter. Sariel. I tried to sit up. She okay? She is resting, but alive, because of you. She looked at me, then placed her hand gently over her heart. And for that, I owe you more than gratitude. I coughed, just doing what's right. To carry an enemy child through a war zone while bleeding out? Her voice softened. There's no protocol for that. I tried to shrug, but it hurt. She was alone. I muttered. Didn't matter whose side she was on. Virea stared at me for a long moment. Then you are unlike any human I've met. Then she added something that changed everything. By our laws, saving the life of an Allery child with your own risk demand a life bond. My brain fuzzed. Wait, what? You are entitled to become her protector. And more. If you accept it, the child's family must offer one of their own in sacred union. I wasn't expecting marriage. It is not a burden, she said calmly. It is a joining, a vow. I am the only one of her family left. Wait, I said, eyes widening. Are you saying? I am offering myself. You risked your life for my daughter. I offer mine to you. I didn't answer right away. They moved me to a private chamber inside an Allery healing structure, half-grown, half-built. The air smelled of moon lilies and something like cinnamon. Peaceful. A place where people lived, not died. Sariel came to visit me daily. She still didn't speak, but she held my hand and traced my scars with her glowing fingers. Sometimes she curled up beside me while I rested. Sometimes Varela watched from the doorway. One evening, I finally asked her, "Why do you follow this law?" She sat beside me, uninvited but welcome, because it is ancient, sacred, a way of acknowledging acts of impossible grace. To bind our bloodlines not by conquest, but by kindness. You don't even know me. She tilted her head. I know what kind of man runs into hell to carry a child from the fire. And if I say no, you will still be honored. But my daughter will ask why the man who saved her walked away. That hit harder than any shrapnel. We held the bonding ceremony a week later. Not because I was pressured, but because something in me wanted to belong. To her. To them. Sariel danced in a circle of lights, her small hands releasing ribbons of energy that twirled in the air. She laughed for the first time. The sound shattered every wall I had. Varela stood opposite me, robes flowing, eyes steady. "I vow to share breath, fire, and future," she said, "to honor your courage with my strength, and walk with you, even into silence." "I vow the same," I said, and I meant it. Life after war was strange. I stayed, helped rebuild. Humans and Allery were slowly forming peace, and I became a symbol of it, not a hero, just a man who said yes. Varela and I shared a home on the edge of the restored valley. She taught me her language. I taught her how to make pancakes. Sariel grew stronger, braver. Sometimes she called me father. The first time she did, Varela looked at me like the stars had just aligned. And maybe they had. We weren't perfect. Some days, I remembered the battles, the friends lost. Varela mourned her people in silence. In rituals I still don't fully understand, but we shared those shadows. And together, we grew something better.